Hey guys! So I am here today to do another tag video. This is the Bookalicious Tag, and it was created by the Bookalicious channel, and Kate from there created it. So you guys should definitely go and check out this channel. It is awesome. I love it, and this tag is really fun. It's 25 questions long, so I know it's kind of a longer tag, but it's really fun, and I don't think I've seen too many of these questions repeated, so that's what makes it cool. So we will go ahead and get started. Question number 1. What percent of books do you get from the library, and what percent do you get elsewhere? Sadly, I get 0% from the library, and I get 100% elsewhere. This is because I don't have a library card, and I don't think we have like a community library where I live either, so that kind of makes that hard. And if we do, I don't think they have YA books there. I don't know, I've never really looked, but the only library I've ever really been in out here has been the one on my campus. So, yeah, I don't think we have a public library, and if we did, I don't know, I would probably have a library card, but I don't know, I prefer to own my own books when I read them, so, kinda, yeah, so, if that makes any sense at all. So I own 100% of my own books because I prefer to buy them myself, so, yeah. Question number 2. What character would you want to be and why? So this one kind of came easy to me because out of all of the books I've read, this person just kind of stuck out the most. And someone who I would want to be, and that would be Rose Hathaway from the Vampire Academy series. And if you guys have read this series, I'm sure many of you know her personality. She's the type of girl that isn't afraid to get into a fight. Not that I want to get into fights or anything, but she can like defend her own and totally kick butt and do it just awesome. Like, she is just awesome. And when you read the books from her point of view, it's like she's constantly wanting to protect the people that she loves. And if someone's getting in the way of them, she will just drop everything she's doing and go and beat up whoever's bullying them. And I think that's really awesome. I really admire that about her. She's not scared to take risks, and I, on the other hand, am more probably unwilling to take a lot of those risks. But I just love her and her friendship with Lissa from the series. That's like her rock right there. Like, that's her other half of her. So if anything happens to her, she would just drop everything and risk her own life to save her best friend. So I think that was really awesome, and I admire that about her. She also ends up with what seems like a very hot guy, so can't really argue that one. So I would definitely have to say Rose Hathaway. Question number 3. What is your favorite book from your childhood? This one I had to really remember. I know, like, as I was growing up, I've read like Harry Potter, Nancy Drew, and like do you remember the little tree house? I can't remember what they're called. If you remember what they're called, let me know. But they were like a dream house something, or the tree house. I can't remember, but they're like little mystery books. I loved reading just anything like that and all those series, and it's hard to pick one. Probably, I want to say Harry Potter, but I kind of started reading that from when I was little when the first book came out to just go all the way up to through my teen years, and the last one came out, so I would have to probably say Harry Potter or Nancy Drew. I really liked those books, so one of the two. Question number 4. What is your favorite book? This is probably the worst question anyone could ever ask me because I am so indecisive. I love almost every book I read, and every time I pick up a new book, I get the feeling like, oh, this is my new favorite, and it's just, depending on what I read at the time, is like my favorite, but I've got also my all-time favorites, and I cannot just single one out, so sorry if you guys were looking for one, but I cannot begin to pick one out of my whole collection, so I'm sorry. Question number 5. Which book series do you have the most books of? I think when I counted, probably the House's Night series. What is there, like nine books in the series? That's quite a bit of books for a series. I keep thinking it's going to end, and it doesn't, and I'm like, oh, there's another book coming out. But guiltily, I haven't read it yet. I've just bought like a big portion of the books online in like a package type deal. So, and I haven't read it yet because I know people have told me that you want to pick up the next book and read it. So I'm like thinking, okay, I'll just wait till the series is over, which I have a horrible habit of doing because I don't want to wait the longest time to wait for the next book to come out. But it's kind of 50-50 with that book. Let me know what you guys think of the series, because I know there's like a lot of books, 9 books, and I hear like half and half. Half the people love the series and could read them forever, and the other half say it gets tiring after like book 4 and you just think, okay, end already. So it kind of is what made me hesitant to start picking up books and reading it. So let me know what you guys think about them so I could read them next or whatnot. So yeah. Question number 6. Do you buy used books or use swap.com? I buy used books the majority of the time. I've never heard of or used swap.com. I'll have to check that out. Let me know if you guys use it. So whenever I buy books, I tend to either go to like a bookstore if they're on a good sale, or Amazon is where I've been buying almost all my books lately. You just find them for so much cheaper. You can find them used or new, and they've got like a description if they are used. And I've bought enough used books that I know what companies are really good about keeping their books in good condition. So that's who I will buy it from. So I can find books for like $3 online, and they will be in perfectly good, like almost new looking condition. You would never guess they were used. So I'd have to say I buy a good portion of my books used or new from Amazon.com. Question number 7. Who is your favorite hottest guy or girl? Ew. Yipes. So I don't know if this is just because I'm reading the series now or what, but I would have to say Jace from the Mortal Instruments. And as I've been reading it, I've fallen in love with his character. Not just because, you know, everyone apparently says he's so gorgeous, but the fact that I just love his sense of humor. I think that's what draws me to characters the most. I don't like the ones that are too stiff and like, oh, I like them to have a personality, and his personality is funny, and it's just, I love his sarcasm. I mean, he could be rude, but at the same time, it's like sarcasm, so I don't know why, but it makes him 10 times more attractive, and from the sounds of it, he's gorgeous, and it just, yeah. Like I said, I don't know if it's just because I'm reading the series right now that that's my pick, because there's so many guys that I could totally go for in any book series, so I would have to pick him out, though. He's like one of the ones that has stood out the most to me, I would say, so yeah. Question number 8. What is your favorite book cover? Ooh. So I would have to say really anything from Elizabeth Chandler's Kissed by an Angel or Dark Secret series. I love those book covers. And if you know what I'm talking about and you've seen them, I bought them like right here on my shelf. She's got like a translucent theme going on, and I've got my favorite one actually right here. And it's Evercross by Elizabeth Chandler. I love this cover. It's so pretty, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's so simple, but so, like, they altered it, so it's just like a rose with water drops, and oh my gosh, I love it. I don't know why, but things like this, I just keep staring at it, and I'm like, that is really cool. So, and that's really like how all of her other covers are, too. Like, this one is everlasting, and it's just like that. It's simple, but they are so pretty, so I have to go with, probably this one, my favorite. So, yeah. Question number 9, what is your favorite type of book cover? Definitely hardcover. As much as I love how paperback is cheaper, sometimes you can find hardback cheaper online too. So whenever I get the chance, whatever's cheaper, I tend to go for a hardcover. I mean, I know like all this shelf is mostly paperback that you guys are seeing, but as you look up through my shelf, it's a lot of hardcover too. It's kind of like half and half. I'm trying to steer more towards hardcover because they're a lot more, I don't know, they're just pretty to look at on your shelf. Not that, I mean, there's paperbacks, but they've all got like that stiff square. I don't know, and it just feels like really sturdy when you read it. I don't know what it is. I love hardcover books, I guess. I don't know. Question number 10. What was the first book you read? Ooh, I cannot, like, pinpoint a specific book that I've read. I'd have to probably say it was a Dr. Seuss book. Growing up, I loved reading ever since I could read, pretty much. And we would have like little contests in school of how many books you could, like, you would just keep tally of the books you've read, and whoever would like read the most by the end of the week got like a candy bar or something. And it was kind of funny because I would always read the most. Like, I guess the other kids in my grade didn't really like reading, but I loved it, and I loved reading it out loud to myself, to my stuffed animals. That was like a big thing when I was little. I had to read to my stuffed animals. I know that makes me so nerdy, but I don't know, I just loved doing stuff like that. And I remember we had like a little box case of all the Dr. Seuss books that he had out, and that's always what I would like gravitate towards. So it was probably one of the first books I read. I don't know if it was the first book, but it's got a good percent, like 60% chance of being the first book I read. So yeah. Question number 11. What is your favorite book to movie adaptation? I would have to say probably The Hunger Games. I could do like a whole separate video on this topic, I feel like. I don't know. So I don't like to be that type of person that reads a book and if, heaven forbid, something is a little off in the movie, you're sworn to hate it. But if it's like big things that draw me away from the movie, I don't know. Like let's take Twilight for example. The movie, like the whole writing, like they kept, it's probably the similariest, it's probably been the most similar to the books out of any movie I've seen. They didn't like throw in really any parts on their own, and they stuck pretty true to the book. But in terms of casting, maybe, I wasn't too happy, so it's just things like that. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, she doesn't have bright shade of blonde hair, and he doesn't have blue eyes, and like all that pickiness. I'm not the type of person that's going to hate a movie because the main character doesn't have blue eyes. Who cares? But in general, my thoughts with Twilight movie, I still like have all the Twilight movies. I will watch them. I like them. But it's not my favorite just because of the characters. Like, I don't know how to word it. I think they could have done better casting for main characters. I've said it. I'm sorry. So that was my favorite one. But then, Hunger Games came out, and it blew me away. They casted everyone perfectly, I think. I think the plot line was really close to the book. I know they added in a couple things, but I think that made it a lot more interesting. It wasn't like it didn't happen in the book. It's just you didn't see it in the book. You didn't get to see what was going on with the Capitol, and you just only got the perspective of who was in the games. So I thought that made it super cool, and I just really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited to see the other ones, so probably The Hunger Games now. Question number 12. When did you start making videos on YouTube? I just barely, not that long ago, started. I've had a YouTube channel for like over a year, but I just never got the guts to make videos. I didn't know anyone would watch them or what I would talk about or anything, but as time went on, I was watching all of you fabulous booktubers out there, and it inspired me to just get my opinion voiced. So I think in sum total, when I started making videos, probably about a month ago, so it's pretty recent, and hope you guys are enjoying them. So yeah, pretty new. Question number 13. Where is the best place to read? So I've got like 4 main places I will read. I like to read in a quiet atmosphere, and if someone is talking next to me, it is hard for me to pay attention. Like, I don't know what it is, but a lot of times when I pick up a book, if I'm sitting next to someone, they will try talking to me, and I want to like pay attention to them. I want to pay attention to the book, and it just doesn't happen. So I try to like go off somewhere and read, if that makes sense. So my preferred spot to read out of anywhere in the world is my bed, cuddled up with a blanket. I like to be cozy, and I like to be just bundled in blankets, and that makes me just get really in the zone of the book, and I think that's awesome. And second place, probably my second favorite place to read, is in a warm bubble bath. Oh my goodness, every time I get home from work, that's just what I head to now. It's like my go-to thing. Go straight upstairs and get in a hot bubble bath and read, and it just relaxes me and makes me want to fall asleep more fast. I don't know. Depending on the book. Lately, I've been into the Mortal Instruments series, so it's been not really making me want to go to sleep because I want to finish the book. So, kind of a win-lose situation. Another spot I will read is just my couch. There's no TV on or nothing's really happening. I'll just sit on my couch and read, or even by like a pool outside maybe. And the fourth place I will read generally is in my break room at work. We only get like little breaks here and there throughout the shift, depending on how long yours is. And whenever I get my break, I usually will bring my book with me so that I'm not bored just sitting back there. And I will pull it open, even if it's for like my 15 or 30-minute breaks. I will just read. So Any little bit helps for me, just to keep me entertained. Question number 14. Have you ever written your own fan fiction for a book? No, I have not. I've never been to the fan fiction website. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. I don't know, like, I think if you are that creative to voice, I don't know, to write your own opinion, I think you should write your own book. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like mixed feelings with me. When I first heard fan fiction, that was my reaction was, why are they trying to rewrite a story? But then I kind of sympathize, because there's been moments when I've been reading books where I'm like, ooh, well, what if this happened after that, or I would have rewritten it like this. But I don't know. I think I've never been there, but I think that if you have that much talent, definitely try writing your own thing. And I've seen or heard of success things coming off of that website, so maybe I should probably check it out. Question number 15. If you could only read 3 books for the rest of your life, what would they be? Only 3 books for the rest of my life? I'd have to definitely say The Hunger Games. It's been one of my all-time favorite books. I could reread that over and over again, so definitely that one. Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. I would bring that one. I love how that one ended. It just had so much action going on that I would be kept entertained, and it's a bigger book, so bonus to me on that one. And I would also read... Oh, this is so hard. I feel like I should be taking 10 books. I can't decide. Probably the Kissed by an Angel book by Elizabeth Chandler. I loved that one, and it's pretty thick too, so that would keep me entertained as well. So maybe those 3. Question number 16. What is the longest book you have read? The longest book... I don't know. I've read some really big ones. Probably one of the Harry Potter books, maybe. I can't remember how many pages are in those exactly, but... I mean, I've read some really thick books, but probably Harry Potter series. They've all been pretty consistently thick. So, those. Question number 17. If you were to write a book, what would be the title and why? So, I think I'd be one of those type of people that would write a book and then make the title after it, because I don't know, it'd be hard for me to just think of a title off the top of my head, so that's why I can't name a title after you guys right now, because I would write the story out, because I'm so much more vivid in my imagination with, like, a storyline. So then after the storyline finishes, maybe there would be, like, a phrase I had used in the book or something like that. And that's generally how authors do it, so maybe that's what I would do. I can't give you guys an answer because I don't know a title, but the storyline of the book would be something with mixed romance, action, mystery, something like that, whatever that had to do with it. It'd be along those lines. Question number 18. How many books did you read last month? Probably only 3 or 4, I think I read last month. But that was because I had finals and I had a huge workload last month, I feel like, so didn't get a lot of time to read, especially, I mean, if you guys probably understand when you're in college and you have so many finals thrown at you that it's hard to try to read and study at the same time, so I kind of had to put it on the back burner, so I only got actually only 2 or 3 read, so yeah. But now that summer is here, I've been reading like crazy, so lots of free time, so this month should be up hopefully. Question number 19. What is the last book you read? Well, I am currently on the Mortal Instruments series, and I just finished City of Glass, and I'm like kind of halfway through, I think, with City of Fallen Angels. I've read that much into it, so I've got a little more than halfway to go, but it's been hard to put down, so probably will be finishing this one soon. Question number 20. Do you fantasize yourself in books you like? Yes, I do. I actually, if I get so into a book, this is what I love. This is what makes books like one of my favorites, is if I could imagine myself as the main character or whoever is describing being right there in the storyline. That's when I love it, because I could like imagine myself in the book and going through what they're going through, and I don't know, sometimes I'll catch myself thinking about it throughout the day, and I don't know. Yeah, I do quite a bit, so yeah. Question number 21. What is your favorite bookstore? I would have to say Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble. Even though I don't buy as many books from there as I would like to, I always just love the atmosphere of it. It is like your typical, I don't know, not typical bookstore, but it's, I don't know, every time I walk into one, there's a Starbucks off to the side, so it just smells so good. And I don't know, it's always a quiet setting. You can sit down on a chair and read, and I just, out of anywhere I want to go to buy a book, it's Barnes & Noble. Question number 22. Hardback or paperback? So I think they kind of asked this a little while ago, but like I said, hardback is my preferred one. I know paperback is cheaper, so I mean I usually go with what's cheaper, because sometimes you can find hardback for cheaper than paperback. But so like I said before, hardback. Question 23. Do you own more than one copy of the same book? No, I do not. I've only got one copy of every book I own. Question number 24. Would you rather read about vampires or werewolves? I don't know. I own more books about vampires. I don't know why. I mean, it's more interesting kind of, but then werewolves are pretty cool, but I'd have to say vampires. They kind of intrigue me a little bit more. And last but not least, question 25. Do you own more than 150 books? If not, would you? No, I do not own 150 books, but I counted and I own 136. So very close. And if I could, sure, why not? I mean, I would love to own that many, and I probably will very soon. So that is the Bookalicious tag. Thank you all for watching. I know this is kind of an older tag, but I love to do them regardless of how old they are. So leave any comments down below, video responses. Love to hear what you guys have to say. See you guys next time. Bye.